Hey, it's us. Once more again. Apparently, we didn't know. This is the last
season
episode.
Finale.
Yeah, season finale for the Sheards.
You would have thought well, maybe they did announce it because my DVR don't record all to the last minute, so maybe
That could have happened. But I mean, when you told me, what was it, yesterday? I think you told me. I'm like, what?
It's a season finale.
Are you kidding me? But it is the last episode of the Sheards.
What is this? 8, 7?
Episode 8.
Okay.
And the family is doing. They kind of gave you at the beginning. They gave you a recap of what happened throughout the last part of the season. I mean, during the season, the last episodes, and leaving you with the son and the father getting into it. And then now they're this episode, the family is doing a photo shoot for Gospel Today, and how they going through. Everybody got their little words to say. This is a big shoot for everybody. Or Kiera thinking about her brother and their relationship, and J.Drew.
Yeah, he's
the senior. I mean, junior thinking about
Bishop
when hit their conversations and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not really on speaking terms. They being cordial because that's your father. You got to talk to him.
And plus, this his business.
Yeah,
it's church business. And so they're in it. But while doing that, everybody had their little side pockets. Kiera and the mother and Karen were in the kitchen getting their hair done and all of that. And J.Drew was upstairs with his pops, and they had their little talks. But I think Kiera was explaining to her about her and J.Drew, and he's acting funny, and Karen's like, this ain't gonna happen, not in this family, not today, not ever, that's how she coming there, y'all got to find some common ground and get over this, y'all family.
Right.
We're the Sheards. We should be able to,
right, because she made it seem like we're the family that's known for having our ups and downs, but as a family being able to get through situations like this, which is good. And it seemed like the reason between Kiera and J.Drew seems pretty petty, and then the issue between J.Drew and his father it's kind of petty. But then I could kind of relate to that issue, him wanting to be his own man. They
had a nice, conversation. Pops was like, I know I get hard on you and sometimes, but he gave him a little. I'm just trying to make you, make a man out of you. I know what you're trying to do or what you're trying. It almost came like I'm letting you do this. I'm letting you do whatever you do. Hoping you can find your way back. And so,
I'm letting you. The wolves take you for a minute, but you're gonna be running back.
And so they had that talk. So everything is on them terms. But then after the shoot, the shoot went well. Bishop said, let's talk. They went around the couch,
family, yeah.
And he was like J.Drew Jr. He was like, it's just funny how all the stuff that's going on underneath the photo shoot, and we all come together we just this happy
we happy family, we put on this front in front of all the people, and everything seemed like it's all hunky dory, but really we having our issues, and it was kind of weird that he brought that up, but I think a lot of people. Well, even me. I mean, I go to work every day hating almost everybody I see, and hate is such a strong word, but it's the right word.
It's your word.
I didn't make it up, but you still have to be able to put on that face. And what the bishop was saying is like, hey, because what he said, you gotta smile through it, or you can't let the devil get to you.
Which is true also, you just don't want to be, looking just downtrodden and just look like I wish a MF would, just
and angry how I'd be looking.
Yeah. Just ready to pop off at any minute, any time. So
and then I just said hi, bro. My bad. Say it again. One of them moments. But you know, sometimes you just don't be in the mood to say hi. But I can understand what the father was saying. You know, you got to show a different face because this is the face you want people to see, and this is the true face. You know, deep down you might be having your issues, but hey, we happy because we really don't have much to complain about.
But you know, but I see what J.Drew talking about. You know, J.Drew seeing what he talking about. You know, because we still having these, and I'm pretty sure the article is not talking about their problems,
right?
And so you
it's
know,
like they're unresolved, and
you know,
it was almost as if he's saying like we keep putting on this front, but we never really are getting to what are resolving our issues. Maybe it was
I wouldn't even be.
I
wouldn't think it was that deep.
It would,
you know,
I went too far.
Resolving, like you've been watching Dr. Phil or something. No, I think he was just, you know, like we got problems in the family, and none of this is about those problems. When we put, you know, it's just a big front, you know, smile for the camera, for the magazine, and you know the magazine probably reads, you know. The Sheards family, you know, victorious. I don't know,
blessed and happy.
I don't know, something like that. And they tell them how they day go. Well, usually I cook turkey on Wednesdays, and you know, we just a regular family type deal, you know.
But he ended up. I mean, he continued to say like he had issues with Kiera because he was saying Kiera's acting funny, and
she was saying that they, you know,
he was acting funny,
and you know, and then she finally let it out. You know, and Dad was like, well. You know, y'all, like almost like what the mama said. You know, y'all gotta
work it out,
cause
figure something out. Because I mean, not a photo shoot or not a photo shoot, but a music video shouldn't be, you know, what causes brother and sister. Y'all have had this long relationship for so long. This shouldn't get to y'all. Y'all should be able to get over this. You guys are bigger than this. And I guess we found out also that J.Drew is still holding on to, or he still has an issue.
Yeah, him and the sister went and talked to some ducks. No, they was feeding ducks. He said, I guess this is a place where they like to talk. You know, they outside.
It's like their favorite little spot where they can just get away and
they can
be brother and sister.
On, you know, and they were feeding ducks in there on like a nice little pond, or whatever. And so, you know, they were airing out all their grievances.
Yeah, but they were kind of, when they first started talking, they were basically talking about, like, what he's doing, and she's talking about what she's doing, and it turned into...
You know, the elephant in the room.
Well, yeah.
You know,
but I didn't think they were going to bring it up. We almost got to the end of that little scene without them bringing it up.
But I think it was because it was weighing on both of their minds, pretty much. You know, he still want to tell her, you know... And,
you did me wrong.
Yeah.
You cut me deep.
And she's still on the fact, you know, like he acting funny to me now. You know, she's still on brother and
sister. Right, because she keeps trying to explain to him that she's trying to do what's best for her career, and she feels like if that's her brother, he should be able to understand that.
He you know, he's like, you know, it's all or nothing with us too. You know, we started this, and you know, we should do this and finish it. You know,
but like it seems kind of, I won't say hypocritical, but kind of selfish in the fact that he's trying to do his own thing. But he don't want her to do her own thing without him.
But you see, he took a little shot at her. You know, he was like, "Well, you know, I got to do this because you know you."
Yeah, he's like, I'm going back to L.A. to finish up my project, and you do whatever you doing with your little producers. You know.
She gave him that little.
She was like, "What? Don't be." What? Well, then they started talking about him going to visit the girl Jasmine, and she was like, "Don't come back with no STD or something like that."
Oh yeah. She, you know, they had their little brother and sister.
Yeah, just
it was a nice little talk. Karen went to go see, or she had like a little project for a less fortunate person. And so, you know, that's what she was dealing with for some, you know, this episode of her. You know, it really wasn't a disguise, but, you know, she, no makeup, had on a extra hair piece. Seemed like she had on a wig, and then she added on an extra wig for, I don't know why.
Maybe the one underneath was
I guess that's what did it.
That was her real hair underneath.
It could have been.
But it looked like a wig to you.
It looked like, you know, that's just me.
She didn't want it to be her regular hair, whatever it is. She wanted to try to disguise herself.
She put on
what was the girl name? Erica? Was it Erica?
Erica.
I guess this, as being the first lady, she wanted this to be a part of her mission. And she found out about this young lady that was having some issues as far as like financial, the economy's getting to her.
Rent, car note.
Lost her job, lost her car, but still finding the time to volunteer at the church and be a help for people at the church. And the church that she was volunteering at, I think they're the ones who recommended or talked to, this is her. I'm about to say Sister Clark, Karen Clark-Sheard about, we have this woman that needs some help, and if you could be a blessing, or somebody that can be a blessing to her. Karen's like, she wanted to be the blessing, disguised herself, and went down to the church or the community center, to talk to the girl and to basically be a blessing to her. We could probably go ahead and get that part out the way.
That's what we do. Why we say. I mean, we almost over. we can
get that part on out the way. I thought we were saving the best for last. And so, she went and talked to the girl, and Erica was basically just giving her testimony. She has 2 kids, she's without a car, she's been homeless for some time. Her oldest daughter has seen, her go through a lot of stuff. And it's hard to be without. It's hard to be homeless. It's hard to be homeless with a child. It's hard to be homeless with a child and pregnant.
And without.
And so, but she's like, I didn't want my daughter I didn't want to be or look like my situation. So she was still trying to remain positive and do what she's supposed to do. I
want my daughter to not see me give up. That's
what I like to see. She was just so humble, and I felt like she wasn't doing, how some people, they do things and you feel like they're doing it for a reward. I didn't get that at all from her. I felt like she was just doing it because it's the right thing to do. And when you're down and you can't stand, just stand. And that was a good lesson. That kind of pierced my heartstrings a little bit. I felt like I need to donate somewhere. But they. Once Karen Clark, talked to her, she revealed who she was, and the girl
she almost ran away from her lesson.
She broke
for a minute. There,
she broke out crying, and it was very emotional. And it was a good look. I appreciated them showing us this, because this is the type of stuff you really don't get to see as far as the church and the ministry work that they do outside of worship. And they gave her a check and like clothing, 3 months rent, and 3 months car note. So
and it looked like they gave the kids something to wear or clothes or whatnot. So they put her on the right path.
Right.
I don't know what she's gonna do after them 3 months though.
Well, that's like a starter package to help her get off her feet. Because within 3 months, if you got enough, most of the time it's your car. If you ain't got transportation, it's kind of hard to
limit you.
To go places, interviews or whatever. So I feel like, I don't know. I want to believe that things will get better.
Hopefully they start up with help. But it was nice. It was nice. J.Drew went to go see Shan, the old baby mama.
And what I realized with this being the season finale, that we Shan wasn't that girl we thought she was gonna be, as far as all the drama and I want you back, and she was kind of, she wanted him, but she wasn't crazy with it. Unless they just didn't show us. So that was, I think, I appreciated that. I like that. Because, I also watch a secular show called Love and Hip Hop.
Secular show? Really, Mike? Why did you just say a show? I didn't know we had secular shows.
The worldly show, Love and Hip Hop. And they got, Tracy on there, and she is also kind of in Shan's shoes, but she's more, ratchet and ghetto as far as the way she acts about her baby daddy. So, I appreciate that they didn't show us that normal. They didn't show me what I was expecting to see.
Okay.
And they had a nice little talk.
Yeah, he was telling her, I guess what's going on in L.A. Him producing the girl group.
Forever Girls or something like that.
Forever. And telling she was like, "Hold up, pump your brakes."
Yeah,
because
he said "Forever Girls," she was thinking like girls. Oh, you doing too much.
She was like, and she started listing off stuff which I had a problem with. She was like, you the clubs, the women, and the late nights. And it was just like, you gonna have a son. I'm like, well, I'm thinking.
I didn't understand like where she was going.
Yeah, I'm like. y'all ain't married.
They're not married, but she don't want him to do anything that would probably embarrass his son.
But you should be.
I think we're producing
she
those
came
girls
at a different way then, because she was like, she almost went to that the old custody battle mode.
You think so?
She didn't, it was the attitude.
I felt like she was looking for an opportunity to say what she said, but it just wasn't. No matter what he said, she was gonna come
get that out.
Yeah,
but it made sense though when she was when he was talking.
But he said, "I'm producing these girls," and then she was like, "Well, what about your son? What does that have to do with anything?"
I think he was naming off in all his list of potential accomplishments, and maybe she felt like abandonment or leaving behind. I don't know.
You're trying to make some sense of it.
I tried, but
you back with me now?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back to confused. But I believe Holly takes Kier out to L.A. and she's meeting with her little. I guess her image team,
production crew for the video.
Production, but they had it seemed like it was other people, like it was almost like a team other than just more video.
No,
they was the video,
whole team,
but it was like everybody.
Yes,
and we met with what was her name? It was like the stylist or was she the director?
Mm-hmm. The black lady with the short hair.
She was the director.
Yes.
Okay, and she asked her, like, what did you need, or whatever you wanted for the video or whatnot. And then she talked to another girl, like the choreographer.
But during the meeting, they listened to the song, and she pointed out like, hey, this is very, very different than kind of what I was expecting, as far as the music is concerned. So that, with it being so bold and different, then we are going to probably take it in this uncomfortable place. Because you almost can't do that, do a video to that song without like dancing,
gyrating.
I won't call it gyrating. We gonna push you. We're gonna challenge you. Yeah. So basically, let us know where we'll tell you what our vision is, and you let us know what you're uncomfortable with. It was kind of one of those types of meetings. What your limitations are. She talked to the choreographer, like you were saying, and the choreographer was like,
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
With the dance, tell me what if you don't feel comfortable doing, I guess some type of dance or whatnot, or however you feel that this is where this is going. Just let me know and we'll dial it back to you. It's all on your comfortability.
Exactly.
But before the video, when we get back to the meeting, when she was talking to the choreographer, and
who,
Kiera, and she was telling her, I've been known to dance. That's how she giving her vibe. I know some little dance moves.
Well, somebody, the director
said
we heard
that
you can dance.
Yeah, you can dance. Well, I don't really want to, I never say nothing.
She said, I ain't wanting to gossip. But you didn't one of those moments.
Yeah,
from me.
But shit, I tear rug up. And then we get to that little rehearsal. And it was seem like that little jazzercise they was trying to do earlier. Mm-hmm. It was just all wrong. Like she couldn't get it.
You know what? I felt
saying so much.
I felt like she was. I felt like she was nervous, and it seemed like the dance moves were, to me, like they looked simple, but they also looked like it almost Sierra-ish.
You were moving.
Yeah, it was more than moving. It was moving quick and fast, like small, fast movements.
That's it. Movement. You're moving.
No matter if you're dancing, period, you're moving. But I'm just saying they just looked like it looked hard. It looked hard to me, but at first it looked simple. And then I was like, I was so glad that the choreographer was so patient and wasn't, getting all frustrated or talking. She was very, very reassured.
She could have cussed her out.
You think she cussed her out? When the cameras were rolling?
I can't deal with this.
But I feel like if that would have happened, Kiera would have been the type to just forget it and just 86 the whole thing.
It seemed like she didn't do all the dance moves, from the video that we saw. It seemed
maybe they cut, the parts of the dance moves that didn't come out like they one of them two.
J.Drew.
Mm-hmm.
He was I think he was in Detroit, and the guy from the record company, the manager for the girls, called him. You know, like
Ray.
Yeah, Ray. You know, hey, we want you to record. What's going on? You know, you leaving us hanging. Where are you?
And he called and left several messages. And go ahead, because you go somewhere.
No, I was about to bring up the conversation.
And he went to LA because to try to finish his project, and that's when we found out that I guess J.Drew just kind of been MIA for a little while and haven't been returning the calls and nothing like that. So they started this project, and then he just kind of dropped off the face of the map. And you got people relying on you, and you knew to, I guess, this game. You've been in the music business, but not as far as a producer for other people aside from your sister. Maybe I don't know.
I think the pressure got to him, but and I don't know if he didn't know how to deal or.
My thing was he didn't even really offer like an explanation. Like
he did when he came back to LA in the studio and he met with Ray and he told him he apologized and told him and he basically said I just been going through some things type deal. I just got some things going on.
Yeah, things going on.
Yeah, and just
and I feel like when there's money on the line and
he's not even worried about that.
On the line, then you might want to say, my dog, I lost my dog.
Yeah.
My cat ate my parents. You got to say some stuff. Even if my dog ate my homework, but I did dog ate my homework. I need something.
You ain't give me. He said you just been gone.
Yeah, and then not just gone and not just come back with no excuse. The time you were gone, no type of contact. Like, let me know what's going on. Let me know something. Keep in contact. That's not a good way to start out a business relationship. And I'm like, what's up, Jay? Now that's J. Dot right there. You done signed your paperwork, and now you fancy.
You got a drink in your hand.
Yeah. Come on now, that's just not how the game works. But then that makes me think that he really probably was going through some stuff, and things were happening too fast, and he didn't know how to handle it.
He is a young man.
He is.
They saw each other at the club later on in the episode, and dude, came back at him, he gave him some good advice. Hey man, you starting off, you gotta, make sure you gotta do better. You got basically do that. You stick with your commitments that you have. In this business, because you going like that in the second.
Because it's so many people out there trying to do what he's doing. So
and he gave me nice little advice.
And it seemed like it seems like at that point he had finished the project. Because he was talking about leaving again, and I guess they were done. So I'm anxious to hear like what that CD sounds like, or that track, or whatever, with the girls, forever girl. I keep wanting to say the Forever 21 girls or something.
It seemed like it was just forever.
But they're forever, but they're girls. So he just said forever girls.
Oh, okay, forever girls. Oh, but anyway, Holly took Kiera to her church. And I believe they're in L.A. I guess Holly is from L.A. or something, or she lives in L.A. Because that's where they were. They weren't in Detroit. And she introduced Kiera, and Kiera came up there, and tore it down. She was real comfortable. Got out the shoes and everything.
That's where her comfort lies.
Oh, of course.
That's her element.
Oh yeah.
She can bring down the house. It's just stepping outside that element. That's where all the bubble guts, as she calls it. That's where that comes from.
I thought it was a pretty good scene. We showed a little bit more singing at the end. I think that was the last part of the scene. As far as them going somewhere.
And it was back that traditional singing.
Oh yeah, it was back at the church.
The shouting. She was singing some shouting music right there. Yeah. And but that was pretty much it for I believe her in L.A. I think that's where they kept it. As far as with Kiera. J.Drew, he had a dinner with, I wrote her name down, Jasmine. I think this is the same girl we talked about when he talked earlier when he was in L.A. And the one that the homeboy said, hook up. I'm thinking that's her. She looked different. If that was her, she looked different.
She looked different, but I'm thinking that's her.
Okay.
Because Jasmine just sounds right.
Oh, all right. Jasmine. It just sounds right.
And so they're talking at dinner.
It was the weirdest dinner.
It turned so
it got
quick.
awkward very, very fast.
It turned so quick.
And it meant, like, she was talking to him and she's saying, like, have you gave more thought to moving to LA? And he's really not thinking about that. Well, did he say yes or no? Actually,
he said, he started coughing. He was, yeah, I've been thinking about it, a lot. And I'm like, this dude ain't really think, because I'm thinking if he moving to LA, he already knows she's probably talking about a relationship with him in LA, and so he ain't even thinking about that.
He's not thinking about a relationship, and he made that very, very clear during this awkward.
Yeah, that was later on. This is like the beginning.
I know, but then she was mentioning, like, bringing he's
son.
like, you can bring your son, and he didn't really know how that would work out. Yeah. And then she was playing, I guess, footsies with him. He was like, do you know that's my foot? And she was like, that's not your foot. Yes, it is. Oh. And I was like,
he ain't even crazy. And then it's like it's not a.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Talking about moving, then they rubbing on your arm, and then they playing fussies with you, and then he started sweating, and that temptation, that temptation. I mean, it's just she's just so beautiful.
I don't think it was a temptation.
No. Because
I don't think he want to deal with her like that.
He probably don't want to deal with her like that. But I'm just saying how much she was trying to tempt him.
Oh, okay.
I ain't saying he falling for it.
But when he
shut it down. I think even
when he shut it down, she didn't like it. It seemed like her attitude changed
because she was like, "Why are you just being so difficult?"
He was like, "Hold up, I told you before, this not gonna go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This not a relationship thing."
He wants to focus on work. He said, this dinner here is, can we agree, this is like pointless? I was like,
and it was like, who had it? Oh, this her.
Yeah. And it was like one of those moments, like, why did y'all even agree to meet up?
Because it wasn't unresolved. She's still on that hope. She trying to have a relationship.
Okay.
He probably already
Why? But why? If you're gonna shut her down like that, why y'all talking back and forth, texting and kikiing? I felt like that was just like he could have did it a little bit softer than that. Kind of. Well, let's be real. Well, maybe she wouldn't have got the hint. She wouldn't have got.
Maybe they had more interactions than what they showed.
Oh, they would have. They would have had to.
This is some type of.
But if for him to get there and just kind of just abruptly shut things down. She didn't seem like she saw it coming.
No, but I'm saying I'm just how she was talking. Okay, have you thought about it? It seemed like she's been asking him about it, or they've been having a conversation, or had the conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that then just the 2 times we've seen them,
right?
They they probably done did some stuff. That's why I really
no.
Why not?
Because he's a church guy.
Oh, okay. Keep on believing that, brother.
No,
keep on. This
is J.Drew right here.
We talking about J.Drew.
No, not J.Drew.
J.Drew. Okay, J.Drew didn't do nothing.
Right.
J.Drew got it on.
No,
a couple of times.
I don't believe that.
Man, just how she turned so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And
but I just feel like she was a temptress, just a plant. Just to try to see, I just don't believe.
But she didn't like what he said, and so I'm pretty sure, women don't like to be.
Oh, come on now.
So
it's not even just women. I don't think we like to be rejected either. We just so used to. So it's another day.
One in a million.
Just wait. One of them gonna say yes.
There's another one right there. But that was pretty good. I think that was pretty much in L.A. They led us back to the church.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like everything was leading back to the church. They back at the family church. Bishop
preaching. Yeah,
it's preaching. Got the crowd hyped up. Everybody shouting. Even Kira got her little shout on by the wall. J.Drew got his, church smile, playing the drums. They do it just in Nirvana when he on the drums, and so, it seemed like that's how we started when she was talking about the family. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
so
you know,
full circle.
Full circle. You know, it's been everybody done cuss each other out. You know, went to the club, everything else, and you know, we back at the church. You know, everybody back in their position and everything, and so it was good. Oh, I guess this is after church. Both of them had to talk with the Clark sisters.
Yeah.
I believe it was Jackie,
and
Dorinda, and of course Karen, and you know they just getting wise counsel from the ladies on the business that they're getting in or getting further into, you know, getting a broader audience, and so they were just getting advice, you know, like what the temptations that are out there. You know, I think Karen gave an example of Club 54.
I thought that was Dorinda.
Was that Dorinda?
Yeah, I
think both
okay,
yeah. I think Dorinda brought it up, you know, and talking about, you know, we want the girls to you know, perform because they played their song actually in Club 54. It was that big of a hit that they, you know, they played it in the club like it wasn't nothing. And they was gonna have the girls come down to perform in the club, you know, and the mom was like, no. Now if you find them a church, they can sing it in the church, and you know. And then so they was just, you know, they was still, you know, don't compromise, you know, your faith on doing whatever they want to do. I think that's what they were trying to say.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, looking at what like J.Drew was talking, and he's basically saying, you know, he don't think that there's anything wrong with changing everything, but the message. As long as your message is the same, then you should be cool. And they aren't willing to compromise like that because, you know, because of the temptation that they went through, and they're just trying to share those little nuggets, like you said, nuggets of wisdom with them. You know,
gospel music is changing.
Something.
You know,
gospel music is changing.
every probably like 20-25 years, you know, like a main style changes. You know, I say like late 80s to probably like mid 2000s, it was almost like the same. You know, the flamboyant choirs and Kirk Franklin and all of them. You know.
We used to flamboyant choirs.
What, doing moves and stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
And doing that stuff, like, you know, and that changed, you know. And I remember my grandmother just hated, like, oh man, you know, y'all
they used to just rocking side to side,
rock, you know, and stomp feet, you know. They didn't swivel.
They didn't swivel.
That's what you do.
They just went side to side. You know, they did that.
Oh, that seemed like that's even more, I guess. But now, you know, nowadays, you know, it's different. It's changing, and so I think they're still in that mode of, you know, we don't like this change, or we think it's going far out. You can't get
some
too
things
far.
you
know, of course you can't get too far. There's no message in it. Period. You know. I don't even know why you're
you're twerking for Jesus. There's no real message in that.
But you know, they gave some good sound advice. Kiera had what she had to say. J.Drew, that was J.Drew. We saw J.Drew.
He was kind of trying to humble himself, and then
he couldn't he got respect.
Yeah. And
so
he learned from last week.
Oh yeah,
that's
right. That's right. He was missing. Pop's got a hold to him. I'm going over some stuff, man. Hey, Pop's got to him.
You know, maybe so. And he shut that down. Like he couldn't even practice his little. Oh man,
that could have happened. But you know, they tape different times, so I don't know.
We don't want to believe that. You know,
we don't believe that. But
as a grown up, his father wouldn't let him go and do his job.
Your phone privileges. Like, go on, boy.
Once you get your phone back, you got 30 messages. You can't even explain why.
That is wrong. But that's how it ended. You know, it was good. It didn't get too far off the dot. You know,
yeah, I think people were afraid of where the show was going, but I just think I don't think it went anywhere extreme.
Yeah, it went a part to where you wouldn't want to tell somebody else about it, or you know, you'd be embarrassed to say anything about it. Like, man, I don't know about them shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now you want to stop listening to their music because they was on this show or something like that.
I mean, everything they had, I've been a part of as far as family.
Right.
You know, either been a part of it, you know, right there, individually, or know a family member that's gone through every single thing that they did. So I don't think that they're just not these all ungodly people that just need to be rebuked every episode. But I believe it was good. It was good for us to see everybody is not so pretty when you see them in the magazines, lifestyles, and plus these are we pray that these are God-fearing folk, and so if they can do it and all that scrutiny that's with them, why not us? How about it? You might be.
I agree. What you think about the video? They ended with the video.
They did that. It was all right, but I still the song still need to grow on me, because I still really don't care for the song. I mean, it's all right. It don't suck.
I don't know.
And see, that's where it is. It's not when I hear it, I'm like, oh, okay. But I don't know. It seemed like it was everywhere. I mean, I get what what they were doing as far as the production of it, but it was I don't know. I just didn't. It was alright. I like the last, for some reason, it was grooving like the last 30 seconds of the video with the music. But I don't know. It didn't touch my soul.
What did you think about the video? The visuals.
The whole thing was. It was really no. Or what's this?
It was one of.
It was alright.
But I feel like you should have more to say, because we saw it coming.
I mean, we saw it coming, but
the finished product. But I'm the same way. I'm not just saying you personally.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have more to say about that video. But it's just, I don't know. I'm almost wanting to, or wishing they would have did 2 videos, so I can see what this other video that maybe J.Drew would have had something his song.
That's a budget. They only have a budget for 1 video.
Well, they got
no
family members with cameras.
Really? Home video.
That's my kind of video.
But
little kids running around in the background. But it's fun. It's wholesome.
It is.
And your message is still there. I almost got lost in the message. I was trying to find the message at first. But then it was like, will you be there when the trumpet sound or something like that?
I think that was the name of it.
Trumpet blows.
Trumpet blows. Yeah, it's something. It's trumpet something. It had trumpets in it.
Yeah, and that's why they doing that trumpet.
Yeah.
What you doing, fishing?
Not the trumpet. What I'm doing? I almost cussed that shit. But it was all in all, it was a good production. Mm-hmm. I could watch another season if they came back with it. But if for some reason it seemed like it wouldn't be that type of show that they'll
come back another season.
It was like a one-time deal, and that's it. I would say I wish it was more
another gospel family.
Okay. And
it becomes like a series like that. The
they could have. I would think they should have had like more episodes. And then I'll be all right with the one season episode.
Yeah. But this way it kind of ended abruptly.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened. And they just had to like.
Maybe we should have known.
Maybe Bishop was like, I'm gonna give y'all one more.
After they carry that
the last week, I'm gonna give y'all one more. That's it, and it better be good. You see, we got more scenes in the church this episode.
Yeah, we had a couple churches.
Bishop, he put his foot down.
That's where we're gonna lead at. To all the viewers, thank you for viewing. To all the subscribers, because of the videos that we have done for the Sheards, thank you. Might be you got any thank yous?
Thank you, Jesus.
That's probably your first prayer. But anyway,
the devil almost crept in. The devil thought he had me.
Peace, people. Peace.